What can we look forward to in Season 2 Ascension?
Oh, more character deaths. There will not be nearly as many deaths of major characters in Season 2, I can promise you that. I expect the quality to be bumped up a whole lot. Visually, writing, voice acting. I said when I was making Ascension that we were kind of increasing the quality like tenfold. Now we're going up like 100. So I really hope all the hard work pays off. We've been working on it for over a year, and yeah, it's good stuff. Come watch.
Spoilers for Beast War Seasons 2 and 3. In other visits, Tigertron and Airazor are abducted by the series' recurring antagonists, the Vok, and don't return until the penultimate episode, Other Victories, where the Vok extracts their sparks and fuses their chassis into one godlike form, Tigerhawk. I'll leave it at that. Even with this info, it's not obvious that this is a fusion of the two, since nothing about it really screams Tigertron or Airazor beyond being part tiger, part bird of prey. But that doesn't make it any less cool. The beast mode structured similarly to the Fusor Silverbolt, carnivore head, bird wings and tail. The main difference is that the carnivore and bird legs are swapped. Also, unlike the official Fusors, Tigerhawk, being part of the Transmetal 2 range, has asymmetrical techno-organic detailing instead of purely organic. A mix of fur and feathers with panel lining, bolts, wires and chromed armor. For the record, all blue parts, not just the chrome, are purple in the show. They also crammed a lot of gimmicks into this beast. Push the green tab on his back to lower the wings, spring out the cannons, and fire the missiles in one foul swoop. Press the buttons on the discs to flip forward the wing tips, and the buttons nearby to fire the feather missiles. Push the tab on the inside of each talon, and they spring shut. These are all fairly sensitive gimmicks. The first in particular is pretty easy to set off, especially if you're unlucky enough to get a copy with worn springs. The toy's nearly 20 years old after all. For this reason, I'd recommend removing the cannon and/or missiles before transforming the toy. Believe it or not, they worked in a transportation mode. Fold out the battle mask, spring forward the wings, and lower the robot arm with those twin cannons molded on. It's okay, though hardly what I call a mode. In fact, TF Wiki states you're supposed to turn him upside down, to make use of those tiny wheels at the top of his wings, which just looks dumb. Both him and Megatron have orbs with tiny seats inside, which were supposed to house mini pilot figures that represented the character's sparks. Deemed too confusing, the concept was scrapped, though the orbs and seats remain. Tigerhawk's main setback is his articulation. While his jaw opens, and even the blue tongue inside moves a little, his head can only tilt if the mask isn't properly concealed. Tucked in back, he's stuck looking down. The wings are hinged halfway, and the limbs are moderately posable, though the knees in front don't bend the way you'd expect. Tigerhawk's spark crystal is only visible mid-conversion. For what it's worth, Tigerhawk's toy and show designs match each other surprisingly well. Features include pistons in the lower legs, giant kneecaps, this detailed midsection of his torso with the Maximal emblem in a hexagonal frame, the head sculpt with the triple crests and visor, and all the beast bits end up where they need to. The tiger head on his left shoulder, talons on the chest, wings on his back, and the tail forms something of a loincloth. His wings can fold into a cape of sorts, which he actually used to shield himself in his debut. Beyond that, this bot feels big, even for an Ultra class, powerful, and just all around impressive. More so if you own the Razorclaw repaint done in black, purple, silver, and red. Know that he looks gorgeous. Articulation, again, is where this toy suffers a bit. While he has 15 points in this mode, that moulded ridge of plastic on his hips hinders their range of motion. He also lacks joints more commonplace in modern Transformer toys, such as waist and wrist swivels. That said, he definitely poses better here than in Beast mode. The weapon-based gimmicks technically still work here, though they can only aim upwards. However, as mentioned earlier, the cannons are removable. He can wield both at once, but only in his left hand. The right can't hold anything despite having an open fist. Fun fact, Tigerhawk was initially supposed to be a toyless character for reasons that I also won't disclose here. But I'm glad that changed, as this is one solid, great-looking figure, packed with gimmicks and weapons. Again, if you somehow end up with a really worn copy, it won't take much for him to be more trigger-happy than, well, trigger-happy. But if you find one in reasonable condition, he's well worth it.